Welcome to Ultimate DIY, where you learn to be your own handyman. And today I'm going to teach you how to build your own heavy duty sawhorses. The reason I need a custom sawhorse is my shop is totally filled up with building materials and I'm working on my kitchen. I've got all of these sheet goods right here that I'm going to need to build a really tall 8-foot cabinet that is going to hold my built-in oven. I can use things like this. These are pre-built. I have a lot of them. I do use them a lot. They fold up, they go into a corner, really nice, lightweight. But that's kind of the key term, lightweight. These tend to fall over. If you're trying to put some big sheet goods on and you're sliding it across it, they tend to collapse and fall. These are great for doing painting. You can see all the paint I have on this one. I love putting trim on it and painting, and it's easy to move from job site to job site. But I need something bigger. I need it a little taller. Now you can, by the way, put 2x4s across here and raise this up a little. But I like a good solid platform. I like it a little bit more, close to half of my height. Now keep in mind, you don't want to go too tall. If you go too tall, you're going to fight getting these sheet goods up on there. But I want it about, half my height. If I want it a little taller, I can even put another piece of sacrificial wood on the top. This is called an I-beam type system because basically it's built like an I-beam. Now you can build these with just the upper part of the I-beam, leave the bottom one off. You can trim the sides. You can get extremely fancy. But what we're going to do is try to keep this very simple and quick, DIY friendly. And we're going to go step by step. I'm also going to put gussets on the end though to help hold it together. And I'm going to show you how you do it, like I said, step by step. All you're going to need is 3 48-inch wide pieces. I have 4 33-inch legs. And I have some really good 3/4 stock that we're going to use for the gussets. Now you can change any of these dimensions that you like. All right, so now the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 3 pieces of the I-beam and I'm going to find my center marks. Now on the 3.5-inch wide, that's going to be 1 3/4 inches. Let me move this down, make sure you can see. So I am literally going to come over here to 1 3/4 inches, make a line. And what I do is I'll use a little speed square. I make my mark here and I transpose it to the end. You'll understand why here in just a second. I also do the same thing on this side, the 1 3/4 inches, and make my marks and transpose them. So I've done that on both of these right here. They are ready to go. Now these will be my 3.5-inch pieces. This is going to be the 1.5 inch. So on this one, I simply need to find 3/4 inch right here and mark it. And I'm going to do that on both sides. Right here, my 3/4. And it does not have to be 100% exact, guys, but the closer it is to exact, the better the legs are going to actually fit. Now, on this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go down, make my mark, just like that. And I do the same thing over here. And you don't even have to use a square here, guys. If you don't want to, you can just make a little mark right underneath it. It's pretty simple. All right, so got that. All I'm going to do is take these 2 lines and line them up. So in my case, it would be a little easier to just go ahead and kind of hold it right there. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. So I get it just like that. And I'm going to line these up the same exact way, line in the lines. And I'm just going to shoot a little brad nail in it to hold it. There we go. Get this one. And right there. So now that we have that, Figure out which side I want for my top. I think I'm going to go ahead and use this one. So what I do is I use a countersink, just like this. And I'm going to put a few screws in this. Now this is my sacrificial piece, meaning that if it accidentally gets cut, it's easy. I can unscrew it and I can actually put a new one on. So we're going to go probably about right there. There. And there. And there. And the countersink, guys, is going to allow that screw head to go below the surface so I don't hit it as easily with a saw. Now, I'm using 3-inch decking screws because these are great for if this ends up outside, it's not going to rust. They're a little stronger, and you want a good 3-inch screw. Alright, so that is that side. Now we're going to simply flip it over onto this side. Now this side you do not necessarily have to countersink if it's going to be the bottom. So you just want to get them in there, make it nice and tight. You might want to go ahead and put an extra screw in this one. I put 3 on the top. Alright, so there is the I-beam totally done. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and put on the leg. Hey guys, just a quick reminder, be sure you follow the link in the description so that you can get all of my free homeowner PDFs. I have an entire library that I cover things from plumbing, carpentry, electrical, tape and bedding, you name it, it's going to be in there. And it's 100% free. So be sure you check that out. All right, guys, so when it comes to the legs, you've got a couple of choices. You can use your 3-inch like decking screws here, or you can use something a little stronger like a 3-inch structural screw. Now that's what I'm going to use. If I use these, I generally will put in 4. With these, I'm going to put in 3, 2 at the bottom, 1 at the top. Now, what I like to do here is I will measure back about 1 inch and make my mark top and bottom. Let's make sure you guys can see. I do it on both sides. That way my leg goes in the same place. Now some people will take and put it at the very edge. I like to come off of the edge a little, especially with these big structural type screws, because they tend to split the edges. Now we are going to take the first leg and we are going to place it. You're going to want to make sure that you're down nice and firm. And what I'll do is I'll shoot a nail or two just to kind of hold it in place. And then I am going to pre-drill. So I'm going to drill 1 for the middle up here. And then I'm going to do 2. Now this is also an area I see people make mistakes. They will put their, oops, coming loose. They will actually put their screws up here with this big air gap. I like to have mine go right into the wood so there's very little air. So I will just straight down like that. And there we go. And now we are going to take and place these. And you just want to get it nice and firm, guys. You don't have to crush the wood. It's easy to crush it with these. They're very strong structural screws. Just like that. And right here. And by the way, if I didn't mention it, the nails that I am shooting here are 2.5-inch 16 gauge brad nails. All right, let's go ahead and there. Alrighty. Make sure you get that nice and flush, so you won't end up crooked. right, so now it's just a matter of flipping it over and repeating the process. All right, guys. Well, there we go, and perfect. Now, you can, if you want, you can try to trim the bottom of those and make them flat, but I'm going to tell you right now, you'll struggle with that all day long, and there's really no need for it. It still is extremely sturdy this way, and if you use these outside anywhere, that edge tends to grab the ground. All right, so what we're going to do next is we are going to mark and cut the little plate for the end. I'm going to put it right here. So I've already pre-cut these to a width that I actually like for strength. Now I will tell you this is about 15 degrees on this one, but I like to be exact, so I will mark it just like that. And I do the same thing right here. And then I will take and cut these on the saw. There you can see the cutout, and we attach it. The actual angle turned out to be about a 12.5. We're going to just put it in place like this and screw them in. I'm going to use 6 screws. We're going to use the same kind of decking screw, but these are going to be about 2-inch screws. All right, so we have them all preset. We're going to butt it up underneath the I-beam there and get my edges lined up perfectly, just like that. Now you can make this a lot smaller, guys, if you want, by the way. You can go about half of what I did here. I just know I've got a lot of heavy weight and I don't want them spreading out at all. Just like that. So there you go, guys. It's that simple. Super easy. Any homeowner, DIYer can build these. Super lightweight, but yet extremely strong. Now remember, I built mine 48 inches wide. I built them about 35.5 inches tall because we did 33-inch legs, and then you have the top, which is 1.5 inches on there. And if you need it taller, you can actually add another piece on top of this. Also, if this ends up getting damaged, you can easily pull the 3 screws and put a new piece on the top. Happens all the time with saws. If you want to stack these a little tighter where they're not wobbly, you can actually make your gussets a little bit smaller so it will stack a little bit tighter that way. Now, quick question. This is the sheet goods that I'm going to be putting up there. Which one would you trust? Would you trust this, or would you trust these little plastic flimsy units? I guess I shouldn't have said flimsy. That kind of shows you I'm a little biased, but I've had these things fall on me before, and it is not pleasant. So be sure you leave me a comment and let me know what you think and which one you would prefer. If you've had great luck with these, that's fantastic. Like I said, I use them for painting because they hold up trim extremely well. Now, real quick, if you are not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. Ring that little bell notification button. Matter of fact, hit it twice so that you'll know about all of my upcoming videos as I release them. And we will see you guys on the next one.